Hello and welcome to solo playthroughs. We got a big one today that spoiler alert, I'm not gonna win this. I don't think. We'll see. I did one practice game of it, got absolutely walloped, and felt like, you know what? Let's just put it out there and see what happens. It's a challenge I thought I wanted to do when I saw it on the community challenge on Reddit. It was number 58, so it was the second challenge on number 58. I already did the first challenge, which didn't go so well. That was level 5 Scotland against Fractured Days, Split the Sky, and Ocean's Hungry Grasp, and just got a little bit not unlucky. Just I needed one or two more things to go my way, and I really think I would have had a chance on that one, but unfortunately, it was not meant to be. This one is tough, man. Level 6 England is just brutal, and we are just going to try to race to get through 130 fear before England finds a way just to overwhelm this island. And level 6 England, look, I really like the challenge. I don't love how even when you win, it is such an unsatisfying experience because the island normally looks like crap when you're done and you just have the fear victory. And thematically, it makes sense that you just did just enough to scare everyone away. They're just going to leave their towns and cities because you know what? The island is too messed up for them. Something's going on and they need to go somewhere else and go back to where they came from. That's right. Get the heck out of my house, invaders. But it is still weird when you're like,
There's plastic everywhere, and somehow I still won. Okay.
that's fine. So I did beat level 6 England recently with a friend. We played a two-handed playthrough in which I had Thunder Speaker and he played with Many Minds move as one, which was, two of my top 10 spirits. So, they're both fairly strong, good fear generation, good control, was able to destroy enough with Thunder Speaker, generate enough fear, and then Many Minds has the defense, and it was really just a really fun dynamic combo. It took us 2 or 3 tries, but we got it done. Here, I don't know. I mean, the extra health for England just changes the math so drastically. Creepers tear into mortar is not a reliable source of destroying anything. And you're just hoping, again, that you can get that fear monster going, that you get a couple of strong majors early with Bringer that will be able to destroy some cities, that you can get the 5 fear at a pop, because again, you're not destroying anything. You're just scaring the bejesus out of it, right? So here we are. The board is set up. We got board A over here for a spread of Rampant Green. We got board B over here for a Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares. I got everything on the board with the Dahan, the Disease, the Beast, the 2 cities, the 1 and 1, 1 and 2, the 2 towns, the 1 and 2, the 1 and 8 on board A, the 1 and 6 on board B. So I got the Sacred Site in land 5 for Bringer. We have a presence in the jungle that does not have any Dahan, and a presence in land 5 for our friend, a spread of Rampant Green. So let me get the rest of the setup done. I will shuffle up the event deck here. I'm going to move green over there, give myself a little bit of a surface area. You will notice that I am using thematic colors here, right? We got the purple to represent Bringer, and how do you not play green with green? It just seems wrong. I mean, this is what it is. You got to use the green for green, so it makes everyone happier. So we're going to shuffle up this event deck. I'm sure I put that in the worst possible order for me just there. We have our fear deck. I'll shuffle this. The fear deck is not awful. It's a 4-5-4. It's actually less than level 5 England. Why would that be? Well, again, you're adding 1 fear per player to the fear pool. So instead of having to go through 8 fear in order to get a fear card in a 2 spirit game, you now need to go through 10. Oh, and if you don't go through that 10 fear in between rounds, if you go through the invader phase and you do not resolve a fear card in any one round, well, the high immigration tile is not only building once, well, that sucker is building twice. We will really need to try hard to avoid that. The other thing that I've been learning about England at the higher levels is that if you do not get that coastal lands card as one of the stage 2 cards, it really ups the difficulty, because that stage 2 escalation, where it is building the land with the most cities and towns, is just absolutely brutal. And if you have 4 cards in a row that have that stage 2 escalation symbol and don't get a reprieve from that, it's really rough, which is funny because normally you really kind of prefer the coastal lands card in a lot of games, not all of them, but in a fair number of them. But against England, it's like, oh, let me see that coastal lands card. I mean, I'll deal with the consequences of that, but just don't make me do another build in the land with the most cities and towns, because fighting off that additional loss condition is just a challenge so many times. I'm going to lose against England. It is that additional loss condition. All right, I'm going to roll a d6 here. Going to take out number 4 and setting up the invader deck. So these are the stage 3 cards. I got the 5 stage 2 cards here.
Please do not get rid of the coastal lands card, please.
Nope, roll the 6. That's not going to get rid of any card. We got rid of number 3. That's going to go here. Let me move the disease back there. And now we have the stage 1 cards. They're all full of those. I rolled a 2. All right, so very, very normal vanilla setup of the invader deck. We have our little token here to show the new build rules for England. Again, it will build in a land as long as that land is adjacent to 2 towns or cities. Even if there are no invaders there, we have to set up our Blight card. I'm going to shuffle these 16 cards. I'm going to roll my d20 and let's see what we get. I rolled 8. So 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. That is card number 8. There we go. We're going to put 5 Blight on that card. It is, again, 2 per spirit plus 1. Why? You know why. Because Eric Royce loves you. That is right. And we'll put that there. So again, everyone's like, that fear pool looks a little heavy. Yep. There is 10 tokens there and all of their fear glory. That's still healthy island guard. That adds another fear. Not the greatest thing in the world to see when you already have 10. So kind of it's like one of those times I really don't want to see that card because that's just too many fear to go through. Major powers. So major powers are interesting, right? Because the ones that do a lot of damage, against the normal, invader would be able to destroy a lot more things, and Bringer likes to fake destroy things by just terrifying them. But again, when you give that extra health to every town and that extra health to every city, all of a sudden 12 damage isn't what it might be normally, right? You need at least 4 damage just to destroy a city and generate that 5 fear. Now 5 fear is huge. Again, we need to get to 130 fear. So again, 5 fear is a nice percentage of that, but we're going to need to destroy a lot of cities, and we're going to need to do that in a very few number of rounds as possible in order to really have a chance here. All right, so that is the major powers. We're going to suffer up the minor powers, and then we'll be done, and we'll be ready to go. And I'm going to march onto my certain destruction. Man, yeah,
There's not a lot of me feeling confident right now, people. It's just, this is going to be
a very interesting playthrough. There's not much I want to see with this initial explorer. I mean, there aren't many lands that are very good. Jungle, maybe. We'll see what I can pull off. I do have an opening in mind for the first 2 rounds. And then the plan is I'll be reclaiming with both spirits in round 3. And we will just see what the game state is at that point, and if I can adjust enough, and if I get the right power card draws that I'm going to really need to have a chance here, right? So that is fine. Here are the minor powers, and we'll go from there. So this is the first time I'm getting a level 6 adversary on the channel, so I felt like it was a nice way to do it. I might regret it. We'll see. I kind of already regret it, but I am in too deep, people. I've already made the Canva. I already put out my Patreon schedule. So this is what we're doing. So that's me being stubborn with myself. That is right. So this is the first level 6. Figured it would be a great intro. I will be starting my strength versus strength series with my top 7 spirits. And these are 2 spirits that I really like. Remember, green was in my top 10. I find their defensive abilities to prevent ravages and prevent builds really, really huge in a true solo game. And Bringer, I probably had middle of the pack. I'd probably put Bringer a bit higher, having had more experience with Bringer. If you see my live playthrough where I was up against level 5 Sweden and I just utterly destroyed them, Bringer is really, really nice spirit true solo. Once you figured out how to crack the code a little bit, they can do some really, really insane things. Everything's set. Final step of setup is what? The initial explore. That is right. Initial explore is to sands. I will accept that. I mean, I don't really have much of a choice, but if I had to choose, I will take some sands. Let's do it. We're going to get an explorer into land 5, an explorer into land 3, and we're going to get an explorer into land 4 and an explorer into land 7. Having done that, let us go to our first growth phase. I am going to have the cards for both green And for Bringer, I'm going to have them off screen. Again, the starting cards are what they are. I'm going to assume that anyone watching this playthrough has some familiarity with both the spread of Rampant Grain and Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares. And we'll kind of go through that as we go. If you are new to either spirit, I would recommend my one spirit true solo playthroughs of both of these spirits. I have done one with the spread of Rampant Green, and I have done one with Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares. If you need to get yourself a little bit more acclimated to either of these, I've actually done two with both of them. I forget what my second spread was, but I'm sure it was awesome. So go find it. It was great. I am going to do my growth for spread of Rampant Green. Now, growth is always you place a presence in a jungle or a wetland 2 away from where you have presence, and then you get to have another growth option. I am going to do that growth option, and I'm going to put this presence in land 5 to give myself a sacred site there. Then I'm going to add another presence. Where I'm going to add it, I'm going to add it in land 4, and I will get 2 card plays this turn. One because of my presence track, and one because I get +1 card play this turn. So my growth options are done with green. Let me go over to Bringer. Bringer is going to add a presence to a land that has either Dahan or invaders, and is going to get 2 energy from the growth track. So I'm going to put this presence where I'll put this presence over in land 3. Think that seems reasonable. Sure, why not? We will make that happen. And I'm going to go ahead and play 2 cards with them as well. So my 2 cards for green. Now green's going to get 1 energy from the energy track on the presence part of the board, and Bringer is going to get 2 energy from the presence track. Green is going to play Gift of Proliferation. Let's start getting more of Bringer's presence on the board. And then green is also going to play Fields Choked with Growth. Cool. That allows me to either push a town or push up to 3 Dahan in the slow power phase. I'm going to do an element check here. We have 1 moon, we have 2 greenery, actually 3 green, and we have 1 water tag. So which allow me to defend 2, but obviously there is no ravage this turn because it is only the first turn of the game, so that's not going to matter all that much. Great, we're going to go over to Bringer. So Bringer did this growth option. Bringer is going to play Predatory Nightmares, which is going to allow him to push a couple of Dahan around. And Bringer's also going to play Dreams of the Dahan. That's going to cost 2 energy. As far as element check, that gives Bringer 2 moon. It gives 2 air, 1 from the card, 1 from the track, and it's going to give 1 earth, or not earth, animal. 1 animal element. All right, so we're going to do our innate power check. I do have the first level of Creepers, Terror to Mortars. Again, not always the most helpful. And we're going to have the first level of All Enveloping Green, but again, Defend 2 isn't going to be that helpful, so I'm just going to take that off. The innates for Bringer, we're going to have the first level of Spirits May Yet Dream, which is fine, and then we will have the second level of Night Terrors. So Night Terrors is going to just give me 2 fear. I can focus on a land that has invaders, that also has my presence. Great, I can focus on either land 3 or land 5. So that's done. And then the other innate, Spirits May Yet Dream, I can turn any face down fear card face up. It's still earned, resolved as normal. So I turn this up, Tall Sails of Savagery. Each player removes 1 explorer from a land with Dahan. Ooh, like that. We'll see if that can prove useful and see if I can generate an 8 more fear by the beginning of next turn. So fast powers, Gift of Proliferation. Target spirit's going to add 1 presence, 1 away from when they have presence. So let me add a presence on Bringer's board here. We'll add a presence here. Nope. I'm going to make another sacred site in 3. I have an idea. Something that might work there. So Bringer has 1 more fast power. I can gather 2 Dahan on land, or I can try to just generate 1 fear. Let me try to gather a bunch of Dahan into a land that has cities and towns, because then I could really, start using that as a major fear generator in the future. Now remember, when Dahan retaliate, 1 Dahan is not going to be enough if it survives a ravage to actually destroy a town. You're going to need 2 because towns have 3 health. And you will also need every bit of 2 in order to destroy a city, because cities will have 5 health, which is nuts. So I think it will make the most sense for me to gather these 2 in here. And there's power in numbers with Dahan a lot of times. Okay, so those are all my fast powers. So we're going to move on to the invader phase. Light of land effect, there is none. We go to the event deck. The event deck flips over. We do not carry any of that out. And now we go on to the fear phase. Well, no fear cards to resolve. So we go on to the invader steps. No high immigration build because, again, we're just in the first round. Won't have to worry about that until round 3. So, again, I didn't earn any fear cards. So stage 6, but it doesn't matter. There is no card on the high immigration tile in order to build twice. So it is what it is. So that is done. We can skip the ravage step. We go to the build step. We are going to build 4 towns. We're going to build a town in 7, a town in 4, a town in 3 on board B, and then also a town in 5. The explore step, we are exploring into mountains here, 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 here. Invader cards advance. And now we go to the slow powers. All right, let me do it this way. I am going to do Creepers Tear into Mortar to do 1 damage to the town in land 4. Again, it's range 0. That's fine. I'm now going to do Predatory Nightmares. I'm going to target a land 1 away from where I have a sacred site. I'm going to target land 4. I'm going to do 2 damage. Now, again, I'm not actually doing damage, but when my powers cause enough damage that would destroy if it actually did do damage, instead I would just generate fear and push. Now, since I would destroy this town, even though it has 3 health, I'm doing 2 damage here. I don't destroy it, I just push it. I'm going to push this into land 5. I'm not going to get 1 fear that I would normally get if I actually destroyed the town. I'm actually going to get 2 fear. So towns generate 2 fear when they're scared and pushed, and cities generate 5. So I did that with Predatory Nightmares, push up to 2 Dahan. There are no Dahan in land 4, so that's fine. Again, 1 away from where I had a sacred site. So now we're going to go to the next part of this. What are we going to do? I'm going to do the push 1 town. I'm going to push this town out of land 3. It's 1 away from where I have presence as, what is this? A spread of rampant green. And let me push this town into land 5 as well. That will work. And I have no more slow powers. So things are looking fairly good to start. We'll see. The mountains are going to be a little bit rough for green. We got a little bit tested, right? Because it's really easy for me to get presence into wetlands and jungles. Not so easy for me to get presence into sands and mountains. And the first 2 cards right off the bat, sands and mountains. Boom. Figure it out, green. That's right. The game does not care about what's easy for you. It's there to make your life very difficult. So those go away. Time passes. Nothing needs to heal except for this 1 town. Oh, poor little town. Totally healed. And now we can go back to growth. We are going to do spread a rampant green. Green, again, is what? Always adding a presence to a jungle or a wetland. We're going to add a presence to this jungle. Green is then also going to do the same growth option. It's going to add another presence. So we're going to add a presence from the bottom. It's going to get 1 additional card play this turn, which will be absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to add this presence where I will add this presence to land 1. Green's going to get 2 energy from the presence track. I will play out the 2 card plays I'm going to have later. Again, I get 1 card play from the presence track and then 1 card play from growth. What are we going to do over here with our friend Bringer? Well, Bringer's going to put a presence into a land that has Dahan or invaders. We're going to put this over here in land. Land 2's pretty much a goner. I wonder if I gain a power card. I'm going to get 3 energy from the presence track. So maybe I don't do that. Maybe I just add a presence 1 away and see if I can't get a power card that will give me some options. So let me do that. I'm going to do this growth option here. And before I add this presence, I'm going to add from the top track for sure. Let me take minor power, see what's going on. We have elusive ambushes, 1 damage in a land with Dahan or defend 4. I really like the ability. I don't like the fact that it does not match up with my elements at all. Purifying flame, 1 damage per blight. If the target land is a mountain or a sands, I can instead remove a blight. Don't hate that. Doesn't really have my elements too much, but it does have that 1 air. Strong and constant currents, push 1 town or explorer to an adjacent coastal land, or move up to 2 Dahan between target land and 1 other coastal land. That's anywhere on the island. If I have 2 water, I can do both. It doesn't really hit my elements. Or mesmerize tranquility, isolate target land. Each invader does -1 damage. Woo! Hello, has the beast too, the animal tag, which is really nice. Do love my isolation powers when you are going against England. That is for sure. Now, again, even though this town has +1 health, it's still only doing the normal 2 damage that a town does. Additionally, if reducing that damage to only 1 damage, so I can actually just play that, isolate that, and I wouldn't have to worry about having to do any additional defense there. So that would be a really nice card for me for sure. And remember, I can't do destruction with my powers, but I sure as heck can do destruction with the Dahan when they fight back. So I'm going to take Mesmerize Tranquility. It's really like that isolate power. If I get something that will allow me to repeat that later, that could even be better. I already got my energy from the presence track. So I still only have 2 card plays here. We're going to do the 2 card plays with green. Beautiful. And now we're going to do the card plays with Bringer. So we're not going to play Dread Apparitions because I don't really need to do any defend, although maybe that makes a little bit more sense right now because this will give me a chance to generate some more fear. So these are the 2 energy for that. So let me do Bringer first, a little more complicated what's going on. So Dread Apparitions, when powers generate fear in target land, defend 1 per fear. You do 1 fear right off the top. So I'm going to target land 5. I did 1 fear, and again, that fear turns into defense. That's already defended 1. Do my element check. I have 3 moon, I have 2 air, and I have 1 beast. So that 3, 2, 1. I'm going to be able to get the final level of Night Terrors, and I'm going to be able to get the first level of Spirits May Yet Dream. So I'm going to do 3 more fear in land 5. So there's 1 fear, second level is +1 fear, third level is +1 fear. So 3 more fear. I'm going to generate that 1, 2, and 3. That means I'm defended 4 in land 5, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's fine. I do need to put this presence on the board somewhere. Totally almost forgot. I will put this presence here in land 6. I'll put it on land 7. All right, now call on a Midnight Stream. If target land is the Han, I can gain a major power. In case I get a bad major power draw, I do think it makes some sense to start doing this a little bit early. So I'm going to target land 5, get an early major here. Let's see what we got. Now, there are some majors that I just love as Bringer. One of them is whatever the one is that, like, if you have presence in a sands and you can totally skip all actions in a land, is huge for Bringer. All right, weave together a fabric of place. Target land and a land adjacent to it becomes a single land for this turn. It has a terrain and land number of both lands. When its effect expires, divide pieces as you wish. All of them are considered moved. Isolate the joint land. If it has invaders, 2 fear, and remove it to 2 invaders. Now that last part was if I have 4 air, which won't be that hard for me to get as Bringer eventually. So that is something that I find fairly enticing. It'd be one way to really kind of control what's going on here. And it does hit my elements really hard, except it just doesn't have the animals. So again, that's weave together the fabric of place. Blazing Renewal, target spirit places up to 2 of their destroyed presence in a single land, up to 2 away from your presence. If any presence is returned, 2 damage to each. It's not going to be that great in this matchup. Angry Bears, 2 fear, 2 damage. If no beast are present, add a beast, otherwise +2 damage, and push up to 1 beast. Really like that card too. Again, just not that great for Bringer in this game. And target spirit may choose a sacred site in the land. Replace each of your presence with a Badlands. The replaced presence leaves the game. Push any number of those Badlands. 3 fear, 3 damage per presence replaced. And if I have these elements, 1 damage in adjacent land and 1 damage in an adjacent land. Badlands are going to move. So in theory, that 1 damage would become 2 damage. But again, if I do this as Bringer, I'm just scaring the bejesus out of some things and not destroying anything. And I would have to burn through some presence to do that. But that could be a huge fear generator, especially if I just load up presence in that land. Don't hate the Badlands also add some nice benefits here, because that 2 damage would all of a sudden become 3 damage, which would allow me to kind of push some towns around. And again, we were starting to push all these towns around. Eventually, we're going to start worrying about the additional loss condition, but all of a sudden transforming to a Murderous Darkness isn't looking like the most insane card. So we're going to take that. We're going to drop Mesmerize Tranquility. Now, had I forgotten Call on a Midnight Stream itself, I could get 2 energy and play this immediately. Honestly, I don't have the energy to do that, but I want to kind of keep Call on Midnight Stream around a little bit more so I can do this whole thing one more time. All right. So that is the major power. We'll see if I can set this up for some awesomeness, and adding some Badlands, I think, will make a lot of sense for me. So that goes into my hand, and this is now done. Cool. What are we doing over here with green? Well, green has 1, 2, 3 plants again. It has the 1 water and has the 1 earth. So we have the first level of creepers tearing to mortar. We have the first level of all enveloping green. So 1 away from a sacred site. We're going to be defending 2 in land 7 here, which is fine. Again, the invaders are only ravaging 3 there. So hopefully the event card does not mess with that too much. So all enveloping green is taken care of. And I can also add a presence, or if target land has presence and invaders, I can generate 3 fear. I am going to go ahead and just generate those 3 fear. I think that just makes the most sense right now. So done. And let's get ourselves another fear card. So that's 2, remainder 1. And we have ourselves a fear card. Now we're going to come back to Spirits May Yet Dream. And I'm going to turn any fear card face up. Let's turn this one face up. Discord, each player has a strife and a land with at least 2 different invaders. It's fine. And remember, I am going to want to do whatever I can to generate that 9 fear between now and that next action, because we are going to have a card in the high immigration build space next turn. So if I don't have that 9 fear, we're going to have to do the high immigration build twice next turn, and no one wants to do that. So this would be 1 fear, 1 fear. Like, we'll have ways to kind of get there, and we'll see what I need to do in the fast power phase next turn to make sure we get up to 9. So that is done. We're going to go to the invaders phase. The first step of the invader phase, we're doing the event card. Overconfidence. If you have any earned fear cards, discard 2 of them now. If otherwise, move 2 fear back up. Glad we did it. It is what it is. So again, this wasn't going to be that helpful to us because everything's still building anyway because of adjacency in England. So we're good there. And now we go to the rest of the event card. Beast multiply. On each board, add 1 beast to a land adjacent to beast, then destroy 1 Dahan in a land with beast. Oh, that's so freaking annoying. That's bad. Oh, it's really bad. So I'm going to add a beast here. There are no Dahan in a land with beast anywhere in the board, so that's not going to destroy anything. But we're going to have to add a beast here. And I do need to destroy this Dahan in a land with beasts. And that's not very good. So that means that town is not going to get destroyed anymore. That's really rough. Now, coordinated defense. When invaders ravage, if land has both Dahan and presence, we are defending 5. Again, not really going to help us. We were already set with defense. We're now going to go to the invader steps. So invaders are ravaging 3 in this land. The Dahan are defended 4, so we're totally good. They fight back, but only fighting back 2. So this stupid town has 1 health left. Nothing I'm going to be able to do about that. We're ravaging 3 in land 7 over here. Dahan are defended 2, so 1 Dahan is injured. No blight to the land. The 2 Dahan fight back. They wipe out that town, that explorer. That generates 1 fear. Here, we are defended 5 because of the event card. We're going to fight back and wipe out that explorer. The explorer here does 1 damage, not enough to damage the land. So we're totally good there. So we're going to continue with the invader steps. We're going to go to the build action. We're taking this disease off land 2. We're building a town in land 7. We're building a town in land 1. And we're building a town in land 6. If I had to stick as 1 away with green, I could actually do that last bit of damage. That's really unfortunate. So green can do some things, but frankly, not enough to matter. They could do 1 damage each town or city in a mountain or sands, 1 away from where they have a sacred site, and they could also do 1 damage to a town or a city in a land where they have presence. But combined, they're never going to be able to get to the 3 damage necessary to destroy any of the existing towns or cities on the board. Again, they do not have range to that sands over there, unfortunately. So they're just going to basically waste the rest of their powers. They just played those 2 cards for the elements, and we're going to move on. Let's do time passes. This town heals. We got some problems. Oh, I never did the explore step. My bad. Explore step is into wetlands. So we're going to get 1 explorer in land 1, 1 explorer in land 6, 1 in land 2, and 1 in land 5. And remember, next turn is when we will start having the stage 2 escalation, or we're going to have to get the coastal lands. Let's see about getting this 9 fear now, right? So we're going to do growth options with good old green here. I'm going to try to choke out this ravage and I'm going to try to defend 2 and land 6. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to add 1 presence through growth, and I'm going to add this presence in land number 2. I think that makes the most sense. So now I have 2 card plays. I'm going to get 2 energy from the presence track, and obviously I reclaim my cards. I'm also going to gain a power card. I'm going to gain myself a minor. So my minor powers, I do obviously want greens and waters. So Teeming Rivers has, if target land has no blight, add 1 beast. If target land has exactly 1 blight, remove it, and it has to target a mountain or a wetland. Lore of the Unknown has a plant tag. It has gather 1 explorer or town into a land that does not have any invaders. Going to be hard to pull it off for too long against England. Now this Dahan should have healed. Sorry about that. So cycles of time and tide. If there are Dahan, add a Dahan. If there are no Dahan, remove 1 blight that has to target a coastal land and call the Dahan ways. Replace 1 explorer with a Dahan. If you have 2 moons, you may instead replace 1 town with the Dahan. That I really like. Call the Dahan ways is huge in this matchup, so I'm going to obviously go with that one. So I do want to get another presence into land 1, right? So we're going to do Overgrow on the night, so make sure I can get that done. And then we're also going to do Stem the Fresh Flow of Water again. We'll just kind of repeat those 2 powers in reverse order. Again, that cost me 2. I'll do the element check before I go over to my friend Bringer. We have still 1 moon, 1 water again, and we have 3 plants. We're now going to do Bringer's growth option. Man, he still has this major he hasn't used yet. Let me come over here. We're going to get power cards. I'm going to gain a minor. Now I'm going to get the 3 energy from the presence track. So let me put that there before I forget. Treacherous Waterways doesn't really have my elements. Promises of protection. Gather up to 2 Dahan. Dahan have +2 health while in target land. Again, doesn't really have my elements. Territorial Strife, 3 damage to explorers or towns in a land with a city. It's a slow power. Again, doesn't really have my elements. And Flow Down River, Blow Down Wind doesn't really have my elements. Now, reality is whatever I take here, I'm most likely going to be forgetting to get my next major. So I would take Promises of Protection because it is the only one that gives me some Dahan movement as a fast power. That's fine. None of them give me fear. So really not that excited about the rest of them. Sorry, Invader card should have advanced. So I'm going to play Transform into a Murderous Darkness and call on Midnight Stream once again. So this is going to cost me 6. I'm going to do my element check. I have 3 moon, I have 2 air, and I have 1 animal tag again. So I have the same things I had before. Now, I actually have the second level of this as well, which is what makes this really worth it, in that I have 1 fire. Because I have 3 moon, target spirit gains an element they have at least 1 of, so I'm going to gain another fire, which is going to give me enough to get these little kicker here for transform into murderous darkness. Oh, that's a slow power. That is a slow power. Not helpful. Yeah, I think we're building twice on high immigration. Might lose that presence, but that's fine. All right, so I'm going to play these 2 cards. I'm going to keep the 6 energy. That gives me no levels of Spirits May Yet Dream, but it gives me the second level of Night Terrors because I have 2 moons, 1 air, and 1 animal. So I'm going to target a land within 2 of where I have a sacred site. I'm going to gather up to 2 Dahan, and now I have each Dahan with 4 health in that land. So I'm going to put a reminder token there. I might lose that presence and add a blight, but I should be okay otherwise. Because again, they have 4 health each. Now I'm going to do Call on Midnight Stream. If target land has Dahan, I'm going to gain a major power. So I'm going to target land 7. Let's gain another major. Now I could forget Promises of Protection, and that effect is still in play, right? So what do we have? Infinite Vitality. Dahan at +4 health when a target land. Whenever blight would be added to target land, instead leave it on the card. That could be huge. If I have 4 earth tags, Dahan ignore damage and destruction effects. Remove 1 blight from target or an adjacent land. That could be really nice. Poison land. 1 fear, 7 damage, add blight and destroy all Dahan. It's just not gonna work. I can't be using add blight cards right now. Vigor of the Breaking Dawn, 2 damage per Dahan in the land. You may push up to 2 Dahan, and land you push Dahan to 2 damage per Dahan. That's one way to wipe out some cities. Smothering Infestation, add a disease. If target land is a jungle or a wetland, 2 fear and 3 damage. +1 damage to each invader if I have 2 water tags and 2 plants. Oh, man. Never having those elements. Never, ever, 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 ever having those elements. All these really just missed me big time. Big time. So let me actually play this one this turn. The crazy thing is Promises of Protection and Vigor of the Breaking Dawn almost go well together, but that's a really weird build for Bringer. They play Infinite Vitality. I prevent the Blight in 2, get the 1 Blight in 7, but they survive. Let me do that. It might prevent the coastal lands from getting too out of control at this point. All right, so I'm going to forget this power. I'm going to get 2 energy because I have 2 Dahan there. Got my power. I got 2 energy. I'm going to immediately play Infinite Vitality, and I can play it anywhere I want. I don't have to play it in that land. I'm going to target land 2 because I have a Sacred Site in 3, and we're just going to prevent any blight from being added over to 2. All right. Oh, by the way, before I did that, I would have done Night Terrors. I knew forgetting that might be a possibility, so I would have targeted land 7 and gotten the 2 fear from that, because obviously I lost some elements when I did that. So Night Terrors happened first. I put out my elements, so clearly I wanted to do that. Overgrown a Night could generate 3 fear. I'm just going to add another presence. Let me add this presence to land 1, so I can choke that out. And then again, I did the element check over here. We have the first level of Creeper Center Mortars again, and we have the first level of All Enveloping Green. I'm going to defend 2 in land number 6. I'm still 1 Dahan short from being able to wipe out that town, but at least we'll prevent a blight over there as well. That is that. We go to the event card. What do we got? Seek new farmland. In each land with 2 or more towns, push 1 town to a land without a town. Well, that's not great because we're about to build 700 times in sands. So I'm going to push this town here. It's going to go to a sands either way. Nothing I can do about it. All right, we'll put it in land 7. Plagues bring fear and death. 1 fear per board with disease. I still have a disease on board A, so that's 1 fear. 2 damage to Dahan in a land with disease. I wiped out this Dahan. And then engage in their own terms during Ravage. Dahan only do 1 damage each, but deal damage before invaders. Great. So we are going to do the invader steps, because I did not resolve an earned fear card. We are going to have to do the high immigration tile twice. So I'm going to build, and I'm going to build, I'm going to build, and I'm going to build, I'm going to build, I'm going to build, I'm going to build, I'm going to build. We're going to ravage. Again, my Dahan have 4 health, but they are going to put a blight on land 7. My Dahan have survived. 1 is definitely injured because it took 3 damage, but has still 1 health remaining. It's going to fight back. That's enough to wipe out that town and the city, even with the enhanced health. Again, that is not a power of bringers, so it's just something that happens with the fight back. And then we're going to do the ravage and land 2. Infinite Vitality. Whenever blight would be added, we just leave it on the card instead. So that was carried out. We now do the ravage and land 6. Remember, the Dahan fights. Oh, shoot. Never mind. The Dahan fight first. They do 1 damage each, so it actually doesn't kill that town. Just so stupid. But I'll just wipe out the Explorer instead. The town still has 2 health, so I took that fear back. And then here we do 1 damage to this town, so it still has 2 health. Dahan is injured, but it lives. So the event cards have really not been my friend so far. What else is new? And then we would ravage on land 1, but I'm going to choke that out with Green's special rule. So we're done with the ravage actions. Only got 1 blight out there, which is good. We're now building. We're building in wetlands. I'm going to build a town in land 1, a city in land 6, a city in land 5, and the disease will come off land 2. Explore step. It is sands. We immediately have to build in the land with the most cities and towns. So we're going to get a city in land 5 and a city in land 7. And of course, we are exploring into sands again. So again, the high immigration building tile carrying out twice. Really not great, because now we have a big problem already, and we have to worry about this escalation getting out of control. So lots of problems. This is about how this goes against level 6 England. If you don't get the right major powers, it can be really, really rough. But think I'll have some options. Again, stem the flow of fresh water and Creeper Center Mortars. Don't think I can do anything with either. So we are done there. Everything's going to heal. The Han heals, and now we can move on to the next turn. Thank you, Infinite Vitality. Keep me alive a little bit longer, but I think we're going to be adding a fair amount of light this turn. Anyway, so growth, I am going to heal this down. That's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to add a presence to this wetland. Give me 3 card plays with green. Going to then gain a power card and 3 energy. Get 2 energy from the presence track. And let's see how these minor powers treat me. Terror turns into madness. A terror level is terror level 1. Generate 3 fear. That's a slow power. Land of haunts and embers. It has to add a blight. That's just a bad idea. Hazard spread across the island. Choose a type of token. Badlands, beast, disease, strife, or wilds, and I can add 1 type of that token to an adjacent land, and blood draws predators. None of them really smash me as far as elements are concerned, but I will take terror turns into madness, the most helpful with this specific game going on right now. I'm going to choke out both the ravages. 5 more fear to go here. I'll play these 3 cards. None of them have an earth, so being able to remove a blight with all of them in green is not happening. That calls that and that. Let's do the element check. We have 2 moon, 2 water, and 3 earth. Gives me the first level here. The second level, creeper stare into mortars. Defending 4. It doesn't really matter, but I'll defend 4 and 6 because why not? I'll wait to use grit to perforation when I figure out what I'm doing over here with Bringer. Bringer is going to add a presence to a land that has the Han or invaders. Both of those are blighting for sure. I'm actually going to add this presence into 5. It's going to give me 2 energy. I'm going to get 3 energy from the presence track, and we'll start chasing some fear here. So I have 6 energy here, 2 energy here. Element check. We have 3 moon. Well, 4 moon actually. We have 1, 2, 3 air. And we have 1 fire, 2 fire, actually. Fire is going to matter because of that major power. And 1 animal. All right, so that's going to give me the first level of this, actually the second level of Spirits May Yet Dream, and then all 3 levels of Night Terrors. I still have 3 moons. I can get myself an element of something I already have 1 of. It doesn't really matter, but I will keep Spirits May Yet Dream. So when I get through this 5 fear here, which I should be able to do. So let me target land 3. Since I have the Han there, I get 1 fear for each Dahan to a maximum of 3, as long as there are cities and towns there. So I'm going to get 2 fear for that. I'm also going to target that with Night Terrors. I get 3 more fear, which earns me a fear card. Now I'm going to do Spirits May Yet Dream. So I get to flip this over, see what's going on there. Each player chooses a land to isolate. That could be really helpful. We'll see. And then the rest of my stuff is all slow powers. Get to proliferation is going to let me add another presence. I have to target another spirit, so I'm obviously going to target Bringer. And let's get up the 3 card plays here with Bringer. I can add it, land 1 away. I'll put this 1 presence in land 7. I don't totally want to lose all my presence out in the inland part, and I'm about to lose all 3 in land 5 because I'm going to be doing Transformator Murderous Darkness. So let's see how this plays out. So we go into the invader phase. Again, Blighted Island, nothing, event card, rising interest in the island. Your island is unlike any the invaders have seen. Their leaders begin to take interest in tales of strangeness. You may ignore the curiosity. No, we'll be doing that. Or I could spend 8 aided by air. Now I have 2, 3 air already, so I need 5 more air. I can discard this card. Now I need 3 more air. Again, cards in play count 1 each. Elements in play count 1 each. So 1, 2, 3. If I forget this, that'd be another 4. I don't want to forget this. So I'm just going to discard this to get 2 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, it's 4 energy per player. So I need 3 more there. I'm going to spend 2 as Bringer. It's easier for him to get energy. I'm going to spend 1 as a spread of Rampant Green. So what are we doing? Return the top fear card to the box. That's fine. I lose the isolate ability, but don't mind getting through some more cards. Again, that just basically went from 130 we need to generate until we could possibly win this to 120. And then during the next normal ravage, each town or city does +1 damage. Again, it doesn't really matter for us. Beast of the Jungle. On each board, add a disease to a jungle without blight. Here and here. I also had the option of doing it in 3 on board A, but I get 1 fear because invaders are present, so that will help. And then on each board, add a wild to a land with the Han. Great. I'll add the wilds in land 3 on board A, and I will add it to land 3 on board B. Discord. Each player can add a strife to a different land that has at least 2 invaders. So it has to be a different land. I will add this in land 3 on board B. And I'm going to also add it to one of the cities in land 5 too. I think that will work. All right, so that's done. So again, it could be on the same board, just had to be in different lands. We now do the invader steps. The invaders are now building in mountains, so we get a town in land 2, a city in land 7, a town in land 1, and a city in land 6. Well, the event's over, we can move this to defend 4. I had it, so I just put it on the board just in case. We're ravaging in wetlands on board B. I'm going to get a blight in land 1. I'm going to get a blight in land 6. I'm going to choke out both the ravages on board A. So I have no sacred site anymore as green, but that's fine. We're still healthy for now. We're going to do a build action in sands. So we're doing a town in land 5. So we have 3 towns and 2 cities in there. And we're doing a town in land 3. We're doing a town in land 4 on board A, and we're doing a town in land 7. So we have 5 structures here, 5 structures there. Kind of getting to be a problem. It's not coastal land, so we do have to do an automatic build. So we're getting another city in land 5. We're getting a city in land 7. So one more build in either of those lands, and we lose. And now we do an explore action into wetlands, which is a rough back-to-back. So explore, 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 explore. Invader cards advance. And here we go. So I am going to do transform into a murderous darkness. Target spirit may choose one of their sacred sites. I'm going to choose my sacred site in land 5. Now it has 3 presence. As long as it's 2 or more presence, it's a sacred site. In that land, I'm going to replace each of my presence with the badlands. So I'm replacing 3 presence with 3 badlands. 1, 2, and 3. The replaced presence leaves the game. So I can't put this back. This is not like normal presence where you can kind of maybe get a power to put it back. It's actually out of the game. Push any number of those badlands. I'm going to push 3 of the badlands over here. Goes Akin. They get 3 fear off the top. So 1, 2, 3. And I do 3 damage per presence replaced. So I replace 3, so I do 9 damage. And 9 damage is enough to kill those 2 cities, except you can't destroy or kill cities when you are bringer. This is my power. You know what? Let me push these towns instead. I'm going to use that 9 damage to get those towns out of there, so I don't have to worry about the additional loss condition. So instead of generating 10 fear for destroying 2 cities, I'm going to generate 9 fear for destroying 3 towns. So again, I generated the 3 off the top, another 9. So that's going to be 6 with a remainder of 3. That's a fear card. We're on terror level 2. Since I have the kicker here, 1 damage in an adjacent land. Great. I'm going to do 1 damage here. I generated 3 badlands. That's 4 damage. That would be enough to destroy the city. Instead of actually destroying it, though, what does it do? It just generates 5 fear. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds good to me. All right. We're just, again, chasing fear here and see if we can kind of pull this off. It's going to be tight. Call the Dahan ways. I'm going to do that. I'm going to target a land with Dahan, 1 away from where I have presence. I'm going to target land 7. Since I have the 2 moons, I'm going to replace this town with a Dahan. And I'm going to do fields choked with growth. I'm going to push 1 town from there. I'm going to push it over into 8. Now, creepers tear into mortar. I'm going to do 2 damage in land 4. So I'm going to get this city down to 2 health. Again, remember it has 4. I have a presence in land 4. And then I'm going to do this power, predatory nightmares. I'm going to do 2 more damage. That would be enough to destroy that city, except I don't destroy things. I generate 5 more fear. So 2, another remainder of 3, another fear card. Push up to 2 Dahan. There are no Dahan there. Again, I'm just super fear chasing mode. And now we're down to 8 cards left. So again, about 70 something fear. So we got rid of the 1. We just generated about 20 fear this turn. You know, we're going to need a few more turns like that for sure. That's it. No more slow power. So time passes. This town's going to heal. And now we go back to growth. Green is going to add a presence in a jungle or a wetland. We're getting 2 energy from the presence track and we're reclaiming cards. So this has to go into a jungle or a wetland. I will put it here. I think miners are still kind of the way to go with green here. See what's going on. Renewing boon. Choose a land where you and a target spirit both have presence. In that land, remove a blight, and target spirit may add one of their destroyed presence. Now, I do have one destroyed presence that was not removed from the game, so that's a thing. Trap the force of corruption. Gather up to one blight. Isolate target land. Don't hate that. When blight is added to target land, it doesn't cascade. Devouring ants. One fear, one damage. Destroy one Han, or defend two in every land that has your presence. So this is not a great draw. I'm going to take renewing boon just in case I can kind of pull something off here. I'm not that hopeful, but we'll see what I can pull off. I do have to reclaim cards with bringer as well. Only getting 3 energy this turn. Infinite vitality could be really amazing in land 3. I'll gain them. Shoot. Now I'll get a miner. I just have too many energy cost concerns. All right, scour the land, destroy 2 towns, and all explorers. Add a blight. Could be fast. Don't like adding the blight there. Absorb corruption. Gather a blight. Pay energy to remove a blight. Target land is a jungle or sands. Remove a blight. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm just kind of missing my elements all over the place. I'll take scour the land just in case we need to get rid of 3 towns really quick, even if it means adding a blight. We'll see what the blighted island card is, because we're about to get there for sure. So I'm playing infinite vitality, and I'm going to play dreams of the Dahan. So that's going to cost all my energy there. We do element check. I have 2 moon, no fire, 2 air, 1. Second level here, first level here, 3 card plays over here. Energy is right. I want to get some more presence out. So gift of proliferation I'm going to play, and overgrown in a night. And if I play another moon, I can actually get all 3 levels of creepers tear into mortars, which would let me destroy a town. Or I could just play, maybe I don't play gift of proliferation, overgrown in the night, and then I get 2 waters. But then I'm really gonna have garbage of creepers tear into mortars. It's probably better though. So I have 2 waters, 4 plant, 1 moon. I have the first level of creepers tear into mortars, obviously not very good. And I have the second level of all enveloping green. It gives me defend 4. I'm going to defend 4 in land 3, 1 away from where I have a sacred site. So that's actually perfect because the strife's going to work. That should prevent all blight there. I'm going to do actually get the proliferation instead. Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I'm saying I get the 3 fear from the other one, but that's fine. Get the proliferation. It'll let me target spirit will add 1 presence up to 1 away from another presence. I'm going to add this presence right here. That'll let me do infinite vitality. It's going to let me prevent any blight from being added to land 5. Strife there is a little bit of a waste, which is fine. And then I'm going to do dreams of the Dahan. I'm going to gather 2 Dahan into land 3. Which will let me do some really cool things there. I could generate 3 fear dreams of the Dahan, but by bringing this in here, I'll be able to destroy these towns. Spirits may get dream. I can turn any face down fear card face up, so I could do that one or that one. So I just did that one. And Night Terrors just generates 2 fear. I target a land that has invaders. I'll target land 3. We're going to go to the event card. What do we get? So Terror level 2 for the rest of this turn. Ignore strife on each invader. Oh, that is bad. These event cards have just been really unfortunate. There's just like when I had that grinning trickster game where I got all these ignore strife, and I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. All right, well, we leave it there. That's a thing. Explorer's Blunder. On each board, destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. So that's on this board. That's why I wanted to do that. I had to do both of these. All right, I'm going to play Overgrown the Night instead. Sorry about that. So I'm going to add another presence here. I want to choke out that Ravage, but I will not have to defend 4. I'm just defending 2. Sorry about that. So I only have to defend 2 because I only have the 1 water and not the 2. So I'm like triply screwed there, but we'll see. Maybe I gotta defend 1 per Dahan or something. I have 2 fear cards still to go, and it just is what it is. 2 explorers came off board B, and the 2 explorers from lands with beast off board A. I'll take them off land 4. I could do 1 from 4 and 1 from 1. We'll just do both from land 4. It's easier. And then careful defense. When invaders ravage in a land with the Han, defend 2. So I'm back to defend 4, but I'm still screwed because again, this strife is now a mess. So I'm still at a deficit of 3 when it comes to defense because the invaders are now ravaging 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm only defended 4. So 2 of those Dahan are not going to be long for this world unless the fear cards have something to say about it. So fear card number 1 is Angry Mobs, Tower level 2, and each land with 2 or more explorers destroy 1 explorer town per 2 explorers. Oh, I just took a bunch of explorers away. Yowza. So what are we doing? Now, this is not my power, so this is going to count everywhere. So I have 2 explorers here. This destroys this town, so that's 1 fear. 2 explorers here destroys this town. That's 1 fear. No, only 1 explorer there. 2 explorers here destroys this town. That's 1 fear. 2 explorers here destroys this town. That's 1 fear. So it's 4 fears. We have 1 left in the fear pool. So that is done. And then help me out. Each player may add a strife to a town for the rest of this turn. Invaders have -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. Well, let me think about creepers turning to mortars. I have 2 moons, so I do have 2 levels of that now. So if I put this on a town in a land where I can do 2 levels of that, I can actually wipe out a town. Put this here. Great. Invader steps. The invaders are building in wetlands. So we have a town going into here, town going into here, a town going into here, the town going into here. Ravaging in sands. Again, I did infinite vitality. So they ravage, they're going to kill the Dahan, but 1 blight would be added. Instead, you ignore that. And they were doing a total of 9 damage, even though the Dahan at +4 health was not able to survive that ravage. Again, we just leave the strife right where it is because of the event card. Ravaging in land 3. Ravaging 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're defended 4. So we're going to lose 2 Dahan, and we're going to add a blight. The blight's going to destroy 1 of my presents.
Oh my gosh.
Earthquakes. All right, so I destroy 1 of my presents, but the surviving Dahan will fight back. They are going to go ahead and destroy the city. That's going to generate... Oh, do I want to do that? I didn't actually add a strife as bringer. Let me add a strife here. Does that make a difference? No.
It doesn't.
I'm going to add strife out here in land 7. So the Han are going to retaliate. They're going to kill that city. It'd just be 2 fear. Sure, and then the strife goes away. Doesn't make any sense. Don't retaliate. They're going to wipe out this town and this explorer. I'd rather try to kill a city with 1 of Bringer's powers because I get 5 fear that way instead of just the 2. So that gives me another fear card. So we are 70 away. Getting there, kids. We're going to choke out the ravage in land 4. And we add a blight to land 7. And we're going to lose this Dahan out here. Blighted Island card is Power Corrodes the Spirit. Each invader phase. Each spirit destroys 1 of their presence if they have 3 or more power cards in play or have a power card in play costing 4 or more printed energy. Not the greatest of Blighted Island cards here, but obviously could do a lot worse. All right, invaders are going to build in wetlands. We're getting a town in land 5, town in land 2, town in land 1, and a town in land 6. Exploring coastal lands. All right, don't have to worry about the escalation. So we have a explorer there, explorer here. Wilds comes off land 3, and then explorer here, Wilds comes off land 3. Invader cards advance, slow powers, creepers turn into mortars, 2 damage to that town, and then stem the flow of fresh water. I'm going to do 1 damage to each town or city there because it's the sands, but that's enough to wipe out that town. That gives me 1 fear. Let's see. We're going to do growth option 1. So I am Blighted Island. If I was going to add my destroyed presence, it would cost me 1 each. I'm going to add this presence to this wetland. Okay, I'm going to choke out this ravage. Now, if we're looking at the lands that has the most towns or cities, it is still land 7 on board A. We know that this is going to be the escalation, so we're going to be building 2 more in board 7 this turn. 1 because of the high immigration tile. And if we're looking at board B, we're doing okay actually with the additional loss condition, but it's still something to not forget about because it will come up and crush you when you least expect it. I do not want to add this last presence. I'm going to gain a power card and gain 3 energy. Minors, majors. Oh man, if I have 3 card plays in play, I'm losing a presence every turn. Not great. Not great. So the energy is going to be nice because I can add my destroyed presence. What do we have? Quicken the Earth struggles. I can defend 10 in a land with a sacred site. Well, that's a thing. Doesn't have any of my elements. Inflame the fires of life. I can add a disease, or I can generate a fear and add a strife. If I have three animals, I can do both. Visions of fiery doom. I can generate a fear, push an explorer or a town. If I have 2 fire, I generate another fear. Prowling panthers. 1 fear, add a beast, or if target land has beast, destroy 1 explorer or a town. Oh man, but I can only target jungle or a wetland with that. None of these are amazing. I will take quick and zero struggles because I think it could come in handy. That's out. So done with growth there. And we'll do the rest of it in a little bit. We are going to add a presence to a land with Dahan or invaders. Get 2 energy from the growth option. Get 4 energy from the presence track. So here with this, let me put this presence in 2. I don't think we're going to be able to use transform into a murderous darkness again anytime soon. So I add a presence. Don't take this energy. Get another power card. Yeah, let me get another major. See if I get something a little bit more looking for. Oh, paralyzing fright. Hello. None of these have moon, so definitely noticing that right off the bat. So you got Winds of Rush Atrophy, 1 fear, defense 6, replace 1 city with a town, 1 town with an explorer. Repeat this power. Paralyzing fright. I can do 4 fear. Invaders skip all actions and target land this turn. It's 1 away from a sacred site. Walls of Rock and Thorn, 2 damage. Defend 8. And it's something that's going to work for me. Infestation of venomous spiders. Oh, nice. Add a beast. Gather up to 1 beast. Each beast generate 1 fear. Max 4. Invaders skip an action. Do 4 damage after this power causes invaders to skip an action. But again, I would need 2 animals and 2 earth. All right, I'm going to take paralyzing fright. I'm going to drop transform to a murderous darkness. I just can't play it anymore realistically. Invitation to venomous spiders is super tempting. I'm hurting for money. Shoot. I'm hurting for cash. Ready paralyzing fright next turn. Make a little more sense. I'm gonna key transform. I don't think I'm gonna end up using it again, but it's too potentially strong as far as a fear generator. Scour the land has some ideas, but adding a blight's gonna be kind of a non-starter. So this turn, if I have 3 more power cards to play, or have a power card because of 4, so I can just play 2 power cards, maybe. Play these 2 this turn. Change for that. Ah, shoot. Just gonna play the 1 card. Give myself options. So I'm just going to have the 2nd level of Night Terrors just with that 1 card. And then we'll kind of see how things develop for next turn. These 3 cards cost 1. Element check. We have 2 earth, 3 water, and 3 plant. No earth. So again, I have the 2nd level of Creeper's Terror to Mortars, the 1st level of All Heavy Green. I'll defend 2. Doesn't really matter. I'll defend 2 on land 4. Why? Because I can. We go to the Blighted Island card. So I got to put this here and this here to remind me of that. So since I do have 3 powers in play as green, I'm going to take away presence. I'll take this presence out of land 8. Right? Because there's 3 powers in play. I don't have to worry about that with Bringer. Of Men card. Blighted Island to add a blight to a land. Adjacent to a land with blight. Serious may prevent this on any all boards but destroying 2 presence from each board to be protected. That is not good. All right, generate 2 fear as Night Terrors. You can do it in land 6 on board A. My problem is doing it in board B. Oh, it's too blight though. Destroy these 2 presents on board B. East Beast destroys 1 explorer. Add a beast to a board without 1. Explorers, only 1 of those. It's toast. On east board, add a Dahan to a coastal land with Dahan. Coastal land with Dahan. Coastal land with Dahan. Coming of age. Quarantine. Explorer does not affect coastal lands. Lands with disease. Not a source of invaders when exploring. Done. So we carried out cards. We don't have to worry about the double build for stage 6 escalation. We are going to do a build in sands. So town there, town here, town here, town here. Ravaging in wetlands. Blight Cascade on board B in land 1. Blight Cascade in land 6 on board B. I'm going to choke out the Ravage in 2 and 5. Build. We're going to build a city in land 1, a city in land 2, a city in land 3, city in land 1, city in land 2. That's my cities. and a town in land 3. Explore step, doing a build in land 2, 3, 1, or 5. I'm going to build in 5 on board B. And then we're doing a build in land 7 on board A. And we're exploring into jungles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beta cards advance. Well, so now we go to the slow powers. I'm going to do 2 damage in land 7. It's 1 away from my ever sacred site. Again, that's why I left those 2 presents there. The Badlands makes it 5 damage. That is going to be enough to kill this city, but I can't kill it. I just scare it. So that's 5 fear. 2, 3, 4, 5. Push up to 2 Dahan. I will push these Dahan into land 4. Terror turns into madness. I'm generating 2 fear. Again, it's terror level 2, adding a strife. Both those cities are strifed. I get to replace a town with a Dahan, 1 away from my have presence. I will replace this town with a Dahan. Push a town. And that had to target a land with Dahan, which is why I did it there. I'm going to push this town out of land 3. Push this into land 5. 3% to mortars isn't going to matter. Time passes. 60 fear away. I have to reclaim cards as green. Green is going to place a presence into land 2. Maybe this is a city. I have more cities somewhere. We just don't ever need this many cities except when you're playing England. So that's just what's a city that's not really in the action right now. Great city. Futuristic city. So I added a presence. With growth options, I can add more presence from my destroyed presence. 3 energy. Power card. I will get major. Do something crazy here. I'll do unleash torrent. I'll play this. Hold on to unleash and torrent for next turn. Quicken your struggles. Terror turns into madness. So we have 4 moon, 1 water, 1 earth, and 4 plant. Change that 2 of the 3s. Shoot. When I did the growth before, from here, I would use my destroyed presence for that one. So I'm going to do the 1 now. I would only have 3 card plays then. That's fine. I'll just take the 3 card plays. Then I can add this here with overgrown and night. We do only have 3 moon then, no waters, 1 earth, and 4 plant. So we have 3rd level of creepers turn to mortars. Go over to bringer. Bringer is going to not have enough energy. Play the 2 cards he needs to play. I'm going to add a presence to here. Nope. A presence here. I'm going to get 2 energy and 4 energy. This could be any element I want it to be, which is good. I'm going to play paralyzing fright, dread apparitions. Now I'll just play promises of protection. He'll give me that element here. If I make that a moon here, that would give me 3 moon, 3 air, 1, 2 earth, 1 animal. I need 1 more earth to do that, so I do have the both levels of Spirits Made a Dream. I'm going to make that into an earth, so that gives me a 3rd earth, which is going to give me the enhanced power of paralyzing. Right. I already did overgrow in a night. I'm going to do gift of proliferation. I get to add another presence. Let me add this presence here. Now I have a sacred site there. I'm going to target a land 1 away. I'm going to do 4 fear. Invader skip all actions on target land. And since I have the enhanced version now, thanks to Spirits Made a Dream. Oh, I'm going to flip over this first. Dahan Raid. Ooh, that could be helpful. I'm going to get 8 fear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to pay for these. Dread apparitions. I'm going to get 1 fear off the top. I'm going to target a land 3, and I'm going to defend 1 there because of that 1 fear I just generated. Again, I get +1 defense for each fear I generate in that land. So I'm just going to defend 1. It should be okay. We'll see how this plays out. I'm going to gather 2 Dahan in there. Dahan have +2 health, so they have 4 health each. So those powers are done, and I didn't do night terrors. I do have the highest level of night terrors. That's 3 more fear, 1, and a remainder of 2. That's another fear card. We are defending 10 in land number 1 with quick in the air struggles. Now I need to lose a presence for both because of corrosive power. I'm going to lose a presence in land 5 and lose a presence in 7.
So much lost presence.
We are now going to go to the event card. No slow powers, which is nuts. These are all fast. Hardworking settlers. The latest round of settlers are regrettably diligent, focused, and curious. You may act cautiously, push up to 2 Dahan, add a town to a land without a town, immediately ravage in a land with the most invaders that matches a ravage card. Okay, no. Or the cost of peak in interest, ravage cards skip to 1 matching land on each board. Players choose which. Beautiful. 1 fear per player, and then remove the bottommost stage 2 and stage 3 cards from the invader deck from the game. Absolutely do that, removing the bottommost stage 3, because if I get that far, chances are it's not going to be looking good. So we're skipping a ravage action. I'm already skipping all actions in land 1. I'm going to skip a ravage action in land 2 on board B, and I'm going to skip a ravage action on land 2 on board A. We're now going to the token event. Beast prey on the injured. This turn, beast also count as badlands. Destroy a damaged invader in a land beast. No such invader exists. Fine. Where's Shroud when you need them? All right, 2 fear cards. Here we go. Depopulation on each board. Remove a town. Remove this town here because why not? And I'll remove one of these towns here. Population is done. Dahan raid. Each player chooses different land with Dahan. 1 damage per Dahan there. All right, so I'm going to do 5 damage in land 3. I'll just wipe out the town. We'll get the cities later. And then I'll just wipe out this explorer in land 3. The math doesn't help me to do anything else. We now go to the invader steps. We're building a town in land 1. We're building a city in land 2. Again, these crazy dice are going to have to be my cities. These are the dice from Darkest Night making their cameo on the channel. We are building a town in land 2. We're building a city in land 5. We're ravaging. Skipping actions is 1. Skipping the ravage in 2. The Han are going to retaliate in 3. Wipe out both those cities. That's going to be 4 fear. Nothing to ravage in 3. Skipping the ravage in 2. And then we are defended 10 in 1. All right, ravage action is done. We have 41 fear left. We are building in jungles. So we're going to get a city here, town here, a city here, and a town here. Floor step, sands, and wetlands. We're going to get an explorer here, an explorer here, explorer here, here. Those 4 are done. And on B, explore, 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 and explorer. Beta cards advance. I don't know, but I've been told. All right, this is going out. This is going out. Board looks bad. Oh, creepers turn to mortars. I can do 3 damage to a town in a land where I have presence. So I will just destroy this town here and 1 fear card. Level 3.
40 away. Saying there's a chance.
So always, I'm going to spend 1 energy during growth to put this presence back on the board. 3 energy from here. So Terror turns into madness all of a sudden, not that great. Let me gain a major and 3 more energy. Chase and fear. Lots of fear. All right, 1 damage and defend 2 per Dahan. None of these are great. Ooh, put this here instead. Okay, I could have done those in any order. Always makes sense to gain the power card first. I think Manifest Incarnation. It's a huge fear get. 4 card plays. I'm going to try to get that threshold. Just need another moon, so I'm going to play Call of the Dahan. Definitely can't get the 3 fire to get the threshold of Unleash a Torrent. And obviously when you're using Unleash a Torrent just as a way to get some energy. All right, so I did my presence track, my growth, all that with green. It kind of played itself a little bit. So 3 moon. Let me get the sun token out because it matters all of a sudden. Suddenly. So 3 sun. I have 1, 2, 3 water. And I have 1, 2, 3 plant. Just like you drew it up. I have 1 earth. Not enough plant to remove things. It's fine. I'm going to defend 2 in land 3. Defense dice over here. I was building a city. We'll see if I can get extra defense. That's that. I'm going to do Unleash a Torrent. I'm going to gain 4 energy. And I'm going to forget another power card. Gift of Proliferation. It's not doing much for me right now to get 4 more energy. Everything else is slow. Reclaim power cards. Gain a power card. Let me gain a minor. Importance of disaster. Next time an invader is destroyed in target land, this turn, get one more fear. 2 fear off the top. We get importance of disaster. Close to what I need, but not quite. I'm only have 3 card plays. I'm going to get 5 energy. I'm going to play Paralyzing Fright. Target land 4. And I'm going to play Importance of Disaster and Dread Apparitions. Nah, I won't have the 3. Oh, I need the 3 Earth. Predatory Nightmares. That's 6, 4, 2. All right, so I'm going to generate 8 fear, skip all actions, and land 4. Oh, well, how am I getting there? Well, I'm going to make this a moon. No, I already have 3 moons, so I can just make that an earth right off the bat. Don't need to worry about it. So I made this an earth. That's fine. So I generated 8 fear, skipping all actions, and land 4. And additionally, I'm going to do Portents of Disaster. I get 2 more fear. Next time Invader is destroyed, I get 1 more fear. So it gives me a fear card. So we are 30 away. I'm going to put a reminder token here, here, and here. Again, to be destroyed on target land, I don't have to destroy it. The Dahan can, as long as it's destroyed in target land, that's fine. I get to turn this fear card face up. And I also have the highest level of Night Terrors as 3 more fear. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do Dread Apparitions. I would have actually had to make, oh shoot. I need another earth. I need Dread Apparitions. I want to defend 1 over here. So if I do Promise of Protection, yeah, that makes some sense. I'll do Promise of Protection. I'm going to get Reported to Disaster is out. But Promise of Protection will allow me to gather these 2. Promise of Protection will also allow me to get a 3rd moon here. And then I could use my 3 moons to get a 3rd earth. And then I have the animal there. So I still have what I need to do the 3 here. I get 8 fear from Paralyzing Fright and then 3 more fear from Night Terrors, Dread Apparitions. I'm going to get 1 fear and land 8 and defend 1. And I'm going to need a little bit of help from the events and the fear card. Hopefully the beast will at least do some damage, scare the explorer off, and then I'll be in good shape. But unfortunately, again, with my presence getting eaten away by power corrodes, really don't have much else of a choice here. So I'm definitely adding a blight to 8, and then the rest of it's gonna have to come out as it may. So this is nuts. All right, power corrodes. I'm gonna lose a presence where I was gonna build twice and land 1. It's gonna build twice in 1, and that would be 7. All right, let me refigure this. If I do this, I don't have to defend 1 and 8, but I do infinite vitality in 3. So the Dahan have +4 health. So then I have 6 health each. I move this in, so Dahan now have 8 health each, which is nuts. And I prevent all blight from getting in there. I skip all actions in 1. I think the element check is still fine. No, I can't play that because I'm going to need to get another moon. This gives me the earth and the animal, so that would be fine. I would play that and gather these guys in. And that gives me everything I need. I need a beast to do some magic. Yeah, I'm going to have to remove a town from there somehow. That's like the weakest link. This would have gone back though because I did not defend the 1. So infinite vitality is in effect in land number 5. And paralyzing frights in effect in land number 1. Additional loss condition really can creep up on you when you're least expected, kids. So I think that's going to have to work. Just need to get rid of this town in land 8, and we'll have a way to survive. We'll see if I can get a lucky in land 3 on board A as well. I have to destroy your presence for both of these guys. Destroy this presence and this presence. We're going to go to the event card. Dahan trade with the invaders. Some seek knowledge. Others are interested in tools and trade goods. Still others are simply curious. All help to avoid violence. Invaders seem amenable, at least for now. You may Dahan. Do not participate in ravages this turn. No. Cost 2 energy per player. Aided by fire. I could do some things. It will get rid of transform into a murderous darkness. Each spirit destroys 1 Dahan in their lands and generates 1 fear. So unfortunately, not many choices of Dahan to kill though. So I'm going to forget this because I have 1 fire in play. I could discard this for 2. That's 3, and then I'll pay 1. So I generate 2 fear, and then we have to destroy 2 Dahan, 1 and 2. Again, it has to be in lands that we have presence. Bring has presence in 4 on board B, and green has presence in 3 on board A. Outbreak shift, push 1 disease to an adjacent land with the most invaders. No diseases on the board. This is the thing that needs to go. Terror level 3, invaders not build with lands with the Han. Well, that helps there. Each player may move with a 4 health worth of invaders from a land with beast, disease, or at least 2 Dahan. That is everything. All right, so we're not building lands with Dahan, so let me remember that. And that includes all builds. Again, anything that has a capital B. And then each player moves with a 4 health worth of invaders from lands with beast, disease, or at least 2 Dahan. So I'm going to remove 4 health of invaders from 8. Now it is the entire town and the explorer. And I'll remove 4 health from worth of invaders from... I don't think it matters. Let me figure this out real quick. That beast.
That beast saved the day.
We are going to remove 4 health worth of invaders from here. Because my Dahan have 6 health. Oh, that's beautiful. So they're all going to survive. That will do. There are 2 Dahan there, so I can do that. So depart the dangerous land for the win. So now we're building in coastal lands. I'm skipping all the actions in land 1. Glad I realized that. We get a town here in land 2. We get a town here in land 3. No, we don't. We're not building in lands with Dahan. Not building in lands with Dahan. We are going to choke out this build in land 2. We're getting a town in land 1. Ravaging. Defended 2. Because of all enveloping green. Again, I did have another presence there, so it was 1 away from a sacred site. The Han's going to retaliate. This dude is going to have 1 life left because England. We are ravaging here. It's ravaging 5. We're leaving blight on the card because infinite vitality. Again, I almost had the kicker there. I only had 3 earth and not the 4. The Han are going to have 6 health. So 1 is very, very injured, but very, very alive. They're going to retaliate 6. That's going to be enough to kill the city and injure the town. The town has 1 life left. The city goes away. That's 2 fear. Over here, we're going to get a blight in land 8. Those are all the ravage actions. Nuts. Building. We're not building in land 3. We are skipping all actions in land 1. We're going to build in land 6. So that gets a town. And we're going to build in land 5. So that gets a town. We're going to build in land 4. We're going to build in land 7. We are going to build in land 2. And we're going to build in land 5. So that's going to get another city. So I'm going to replace these 2 dice with these 2 cities here. We have 6 things here, 6 things here, 6 things here. It's insanity. There's a lot of things with 6. Exploring. I'm going to take these off. We're exploring. Where are we exploring? We're exploring jungles and mountains. So we're going to get 1 explorer here, 1 explorer here, 1 explorer here, and 1 explorer here. And then on board A, we're going to get 1 explorer here, 1 explorer here, 1 explorer here, and 1 explorer here. Beta cards advance. Manifest Incarnation is going to do 6 fear off the top. Nuts, but it's going to work. 6 fear off the top, so that's going to be a remainder of 1. So we have 19 fear left. Plus 1 fear for each city or town and for each of your presence in target land. That's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 more fear. 4. So we have 12 fear left. And I remove 1 city, town, and explorer. Then they're going to ravage in target land. But before that, because I have the correct elements, I'm going to get 3 more fear. So there's a remainder of 1. So there's 9 fear left for a fear victory here. We are then going to ravage. They're going to ravage. They are going to put a blight. And I am down to my last blight on the card. That is done. I am going to do Creepers, Terror, and Mortars. I'm going to destroy this town. That's 1 fear. And I can replace a town with a Dahan in a land with Dahan. Why not? Doesn't really matter. I do the 2 moons for that. And then I can push a town. It really doesn't make any sense to. So we're just going to let that ride. All right. Where are we at? We have 8 fear left.
I can taste it.
Ridiculous. just ridiculous. All of it. All of it. What is next? I going to reclaim a card, and I will reclaim Paralyzing Fright, and I will get 5 energy. That is my growth and my presence, and I have 3 card plays, and I should be able to generate 8 fear. From that alone, I can add a presence where I already have presence. I'll add it here, and I'm going to play Paralyzing Fright. I'm going to have Promises of Protection and Importance of Disaster. Those are my 3 card plays. I'm going to get 3 moon, and then the 3 moons going to give me a 3rd earth like it did the last 2 rounds. And that's going to be 8 fear, 9, 10 fear right off the bat. Fear victory. England, go home.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to get 3 more fear. I mean, what just happened? Yeah, dude. England is just chaos. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. I mean, I can count the cities. Let's just count it. I'm going to put out all of England right here. We got all the towns. I'm not going to worry about the explorers. They've done their job, but this is what we got. So these are against cities. City. Nuts. I mean, this is like, we won. Did we? Did the Han think we won? Did the Han are like, oh my gosh, dude. What took you so long? Yeah, I had 5 in here. This is just a mountain of plastic. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I think I'm just like so in shock right now that I am not responsible for what I'm doing at this moment. Yeah, man, I don't even know. Like, editing this is going to be the worst, by the way. All right, so not the wine, but man, editing this is going to be so annoying because it's so long. This thing with these 2 spirit playthroughs, it's like,
Here's 4 hours of footage.
I mean, 3 hours, whatever it is. Oh, it's so long. All right, this, and this. That was all from Green's board. So we got 5, 10, 13 cities, and 3, 6, 9, 12, 16. So 29 across 8 lands. Not awful. I think we actually have less somehow on Bringer's board. Is that possible? Doesn't make any sense. 3. I mean, that one fear card where the 2 explorers and a land wiped out a town was like huge. And I got rid of 4 of these structures, right? Which is, looking at all these things adding up, it's quite significant. So this is everything, man. This is about the max that you're going to get. I will very rarely have more of these things on the board. I kind of excited. I've never used that transforming darkness. What is that card? Transforming murderous, transforming this. I can't even see it, dude. Like, my whole table right now is just a mess. What are you called? Who are you? And what have you done with my brain? I can't even, it's not there. I've tossed it somewhere. Did I never get rid of it? I think no. Yeah, transforming to a murderous darkness. That card, man, like, what a crazy way that worked out. Because that was like really like 20 fear. Great. We got a chance. Oh, we got 3 more, guys. Sorry. What was on your board, Bringer? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. So 1 less city than what was on Green's board. And then 14. Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's absolutely nuts. All these explorers, like,
Where did our buildings go? What is happening?
it's like, right, they all got scared. Go home.
Go home, England.
That is right. Done with you. Look at that happy little Dahan. Just, you win. Yeah, that's right. Tell me I win. Tell me every time, baby. I love it. I love you, just like that look in his eyes every time. He's so happy to see me, and I'm so happy to see him. It is a mutually beneficial relationship here between me and Mr. Dahan. All right, I'm not playing England for a while because this is too much. These games are so long, man, because it just never ends. You're just like,
I have to get through 130 fear.
what is going on? And so much of Shred of Rampant Green is just like neutered, man. Creepers turn to mortars. You just can't rely on it to do much because that 1 extra health. It's so bad. But winning this was not bad. It was very unexpected. I would have bet good money that I was not winning this. And I still would have tried because I'm me and I just, have a problem. But one of the record books, and anyone who thinks that I filmed this multiple times is out of their gourd because my throat is killing me. That was a lot of talking, and that just took forever. I was just happy halfway through. It's like, all right, we got something decent on camera that's actually worth editing and putting on the channel. Great, because I didn't even know if that was going to be the case going in. But to actually pull out the win, I mean, it's whoo, not the normal way I would want to do it. I'll tell you what, but that's one of the reasons you dig through that major power deck so much, or at least I do, is you gotta find a card that's gonna kind of break the game open. And that murderous darkness thing was like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna work. I definitely am glad, I kept that one presence out, because I was tempted to put another presence in there, and then I would have been able to do 12 damage, whatever. But I was like, I gotta keep another presence viable. And it really came down to that one time when we were at the mercy of the fear cards. I was like, I'm gonna be screwed here. Please let me save myself here. And then it got with that one time I lost those two presents over here, but I needed to have the sacred site. And I was like, all right, let me reclaim with green, get another presence on the board. And that's where green becomes the ultimate like utility knife of support spirits, right? He's just like, all right, well, here, bringer, I'll save you again. Here, get your presents back. Bam. And then the combination of infinite vitality and paralyzing fright was just so huge, and then even pulling off manifest incarnation. What a nice little card. I mean, that really, really, makes a difference. I mean, that generated 13 fear right off the bat, 16 fear. I mean, it's just bam, 16 fear. What a great, great card. And a 16 fear that's divorced from having to do damage, right? Because it was 6 plus 7 because I had one presence and there were 6 things there, and then the 3 additional because I had the 3 moons and the 3 suns. And that's awesome, because if you're having to do damage, remember, every time you do damage, it's just that much harder, because England is so annoying. So we will not see England for a while. I will be doing a level 6 against them with many minds. That'll be months from now. I'm going to be kicking things off with Ocean versus level 6 Scotland. Definitely a little iffy about how that match is going to play out. Someone had warned me about that months ago, like, don't England versus level 6 Scotland is not going to be as easy as you think. And I was like, what? England kills the coast. And then it's like, oh, Scotland keeps adding towns all over the island, not just in the coast. Yeah, that stage 2 escalation. Oh, so brutal, man. It's so brutal. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get a major early that gives me some range, because that's really what the game comes down to often with Ocean, right? I mean, that's just how it's built. I'm just delirious because we pulled it off. I say we, I mean we. You inspire me to be better as I'm filming. All of you all out there who do everything you do to support this channel. As I always say, if you want to see what's coming up in Solo Playthroughs Land, you can go on my Patreon page. The link is in the description below, where I have a calendar that comes out about a week before every month, telling you what is coming up, and you can check that out. If you're interested in supporting this channel, I could always use support. I do appreciate it. If financially supporting Solo Playthroughs is not something that you can budget for right now, totally get it. Please continue to bring the watch time, the likes, the subscriptions. All of that really, really helps. Any questions, comments, epiphanies, please put them in the comment section below. I would love to get back to you, as I always do. And until next time, happy gaming.